This is Monty once again from DPL Surveillance Equipment. I run a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products. We have 24/7, 365 tech, sales, and customer support. And we have the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent and lay away as well. Doing my typical morning chores, I always like to invite you guys along as I'm doing my chores, whether it's straightening up things around the house, wiping the car down. I got this ritual of things that I do every single morning, and while I do it, it's really therapeutic. While I do these chores, I'm thinking about what I'm accomplishing, whether I'm accomplishing anything at all, what needs to be done, what has been done. Just basically reevaluating, constantly evaluating what's going on in my life, personally and professionally. And so anyway, wiping the car down, listening to seagulls in the background, making a lot of noise. That's fine. They have a right to make noise, I guess. Anyway, the website is up and running. Lots of products, as I always mention to you guys. Lots of articles, interesting articles. By the way, I'm going to be uploading a number of these articles, podcasts rather, onto the website. I'm recording rather consistently more and more podcasts, so I'll upload them to the site so you guys can go to the website and check them out there as compared to going over to YouTube or whatever, just in case. And before I forget, I'm backing up my data on Facebook, particularly right now, just in case, because there have been a number of different content creators that have had problems, particularly with Facebook, deleting their accounts without any notice. So, just as a backup precaution, I backed up a lot of different things just yesterday, and I'll be going back and double checking to make sure whether or not there's anything else on Facebook that needs to be backed up. And I suggest you business owners and content creators, you probably want to do the same thing, just in case. You never know what could happen on these social media sites. Someone could say you violated some obscure portion of their terms and conditions, and you'll never know specifically what you did wrong, how to fix it, or whatever, or whether or not they even made a mistake. Sometimes these social media sites, they make mistakes in terms of interpreting what you're doing, but because there's no human beings involved, very seldomly will you get straight answers. So rather than put up with a lot of that garbage, just back up your data, download it to a JSON or HTML format. I think the JSON format allows you to import it into Google or somewhere else, just in case you want to re-upload it somewhere else other than Facebook, just in case there's a problem. But anyway, we need to, have a plan B. Take precautions with these social media sites. You never know what could happen. Speaking of such, this particular podcast is all about investors and users shying away from social media companies. Now, as a lot of you guys know, I've been talking about this for a long time in terms of the fake news and the ineffectiveness of paying Facebook and relying upon Facebook, relying upon Google, relying upon Twitter, and those guys, and even YouTube, to a certain extent, for a good amount of your traffic. Now, the reason why this is a concern is because, we have been led to believe that because Facebook and Twitter and all these guys, they reach millions and billions of people, right? So logic would tell you, if you have, some ads running, and if you're just reaching a very small percentage of the total population of people that Facebook has, that Twitter has, that YouTube has, that LinkedIn has, or whoever it is, you should be doing pretty good, right? Just by the basic math. So, but what's happening is a lot of people are finding out, you pay a lot of money to Google and Facebook and Twitter just to reach a very small percentage of people out of 1 billion people or so, and you don't get anything. You don't get anywhere. You don't get anywhere near the results that you are anticipating. So this is a major problem for a lot of business owners like myself. We look at these numbers and it just doesn't add up. So for me, after wasting so much money for so many years with Facebook ads, we decided to pull our ads and just forget about that. Now we're just doing basically the free stuff. But anyway, I was reading yesterday that a lot of companies, a lot of investors rather, and even users are shying away from the stocks of Facebook and Twitter, particularly in light of the fact that Facebook lost 20% of its market value, $100 billion yesterday, and that's a pretty big hit, and that's kind of important mainly because that means there is lack of confidence. That means there's something is going on when investors pull that much money out of one company. And see, what a lot of people aren't talking about either is Twitter also took a big hit, about 18% dip as well, to the tune of about $7 billion. And considering the size of Twitter, that's a pretty big hit as well. So overall, investors and users are. This is a situation where the emperor actually doesn't have any clothes on, and people are realizing that the emperor doesn't have any clothes on, and no one wants to be the last person out of the door when the building catches fire. And right now it looks like people are smelling smoke, and they're trying to figure out who's going to get out first. So you guys better be careful if you have large positions in these particular social media companies, because it looks like investors and users are starting to get very doubtful in terms of whether or not they want to have overexposure to these guys. Twitter, for instance, they're trying to purge fake accounts from their system as we speak. They found at least 3 million accounts that were fake and counting. And see, a lot of us know and have known. I don't say we have inside information, anything like this, but we've known all along that there's rampant cases of fake accounts on Facebook, on Twitter, and all of these social media sites. It's not that difficult to hire a team of hackers if you're Facebook or Twitter or Google or whoever, LinkedIn, and have them create accounts, okay? The only problem is, every so often, people are going to discover that these are fake accounts. And it was brought to us, brought to light in the case of Facebook, when the Russian meddling situation came about, and people started to take a look at how many of those accounts were actually created just for the sake of creating fake news. So that's the smoking gun that led to people scrutinizing Facebook and discovering bogus accounts. And the same applies to the other guys. If you have a situation like that going on at Facebook, there's no reason why you should suspect that it's going on at Twitter or Yahoo or Google or whoever, because one is just as good as the other as far as, if I'm going to be influencing people with fake news and creating fake accounts, I might as well do it on all of them, not just one or two of them, but I might as well cover all the bases, right? So anyway, just want to let you guys know that this social media bullshit is coming to a head, and people are discovering that it's a big Ponzi scheme, okay? And eventually, this is my prediction, eventually people are going to have to take a look at a different model, mainly because the idea of me selling my information, or giving my information away, rather, to Facebook and Google and all these guys so that they can monetize it and sell it and give me basically nothing but likes and followers and thumbs up or whatever. And that's not enough. The new model going forward, it's probably going to be a blockchain-based, Bitcoin incentivized system whereby if you want my information on your social media site, you have to get permission from me to use it in a time-restricted manner, and there'll be different levels of access, and you'll pay me a certain amount of money in cryptocurrency or something for a certain amount of time, and after that time expires, then you'll no longer have access to my information. That's, I think, the way it should be handled. And Steam it and some of the other guys, DTube or something, they're cryptocurrency based systems, and they're basically getting started in the infancy stage. But that, they're starting out. They're looking into it and they're testing out the model, and they're seeing how to basically go forward with further development. So we're getting there. We're not quite there yet. Got a long ways to go, but definitely the older model that's used by Facebook and Twitter and Google and LinkedIn and all those guys, that shit is collapsing as we speak. And right now, we're starting to get an idea of what can happen and how that looks when it starts falling apart. So be careful, back up your data, take it with you, store it in the cloud, store it on a thumb drive, store it somewhere, but make sure it's backed up and it's in your possession, because when this shit collapses, you want to be able to, keep the continuity of your business going and hopefully migrate to the next, the newer models of social media where we can actually get reliable, trustworthy information as compared to this scam, the scam tactics promulgated by Mark Zuckerberg and Sergey Brin and all these guys who are basically feeding us a lot of horse shit when it comes to getting exposure and generating leads for our business through our marketing and advertising efforts. So anyway, I think that's it for now. Just keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. Today is Saturday, and have a good day, because it looks like it should be a nice one, except for the fires in California. It's a big problem. Other than that, you guys stay safe and enjoy your Saturday, and we'll talk later. Thanks. Bye.